Father-in-law demanded I pay bride's $510,000 debt before wedding. What I did. My fiance's father pulled me aside. You have to pay off her $510,000 student loan before the wedding as a gift, or you don't have my blessing. I responded, understood. Then I called the wedding planner and canceled the party, telling her to bill the bride's father according to the contract clause. I imagined the face he'd make when he received the $340,000 cancellation charge. Look, I'm not a vindictive person by nature. But there are people who test you in ways that require a stroke of cleverness, so precise, so elegant, that it becomes an art form. My fiancé Sophia's father, Don Ricardo, was one of those people. Let me describe Don Ricardo to you. Imagine a man who introduces himself as Ricardo Villarreal, regional sales director at his own daughter's birthday party, who wears a Bluetooth earpiece at family dinners in case the Houston office calls, who once bragged to me about his golf handicap before telling me his daughter's middle name. That's Don Ricardo. Sophia and I have been dating for 3 years. She's a pediatric nurse at a private hospital, intelligent, funny, and doesn't put up with nonsense from anyone except her dad because, you know, family duty and all that. I'm a software engineer at a startup. I earn well, not a ridiculous amount like in Silicon Valley, but comfortable enough that when I proposed, I could give her the ring she really wanted, not the one I could afford. The proposal was perfect. Sunset Walk in Chapinque, her favorite place. I even convinced her dog to wear a bandana that said, "Will you marry my human?" She cried. I cried. The dog chewed the bandana. An unforgettable moment. And we had to tell her parents. Her mom, Letitia, an angel of a woman, hugged me, cried with happiness, and immediately started talking about floral arrangements, even though we didn't have a date yet. Don Ricardo extended his hand to shake, squeezed it too hard, and said, "Well, I hope you know what you're getting into. This girl is expensive." Sophia laughed it off. I should have seen the red flag. Red flags were this man's daily bread. We started planning the wedding. We wanted something simple. 80 guests, a nice hacienda on the outskirts of the city, good food, open bar, nothing over the top. The budget was about $595,000 pesos that we were going to split 50-50. My part, her part, very modern, very equal. Then Don Ricardo got involved. First, he insisted on reviewing the contracts with our vendors. "I negotiate deals," he said. "You need my experience." I didn't need his experience. I needed him to stop sending me LinkedIn articles about synergies in wedding planning. But Sophia asked me to humor him, so I sent him the contracts. He responded with a 47-slide PowerPoint presentation about how we were leaving money on the table. Not a Word document, not an email, a PowerPoint presentation with animations and a cover slide that said, "Wedding, my last name, a cost-benefit analysis." There were pie charts. Several, in fact. One was titled Unnecessary Expenses and was literally the entire pie chart. The DJ contract. You're overpaying for the premium package. You're just going to play Spotify music. I have a nephew with a phone and a Bluetooth speaker who'll do it for free. A photographer. Why do you need an engagement session and wedding photos? Use the engagement ones twice. That's what Photoshop is for. Besides, everyone has cameras on their phones. I can create a shared Google Drive folder. The catering, the open bar. It's fiscal irresponsibility. Cash bar builds character. Besides, if people want to drink, they can pre-game in the parking lot like civilized people. He actually said pre-game in the parking lot at his own daughter's wedding. I just nodded, ignored almost everything, and continued with the plans. 3 months before the wedding, Sophia and I went to dinner with her parents. A steakhouse in San Pedro Garza Garcia. Don Ricardo's choice, of course. We were talking about centerpieces when Don Ricardo set down his glass of extra-aged tequila. He had announced the brand to the waiter and looked at me. "Can we talk in private?" Man to man. "Oh no." Sophia gave me a look that said, "Please don't let him convince you to invite his entire sales team." We went out to the terrace. Cool October night. Don Ricardo lit a cigar. I don't smoke, but he didn't offer me one anyway. "Do you love my daughter?" he asked. "With all my heart." "And do you want to make her happy?" "That's the plan." Good, good. He took a puff of his cigar. "Then we need to talk about her student loan." I froze. "Her what?" "Her student loan. She still owes about $510,000 pesos. Studying at Tec de Monterrey wasn't cheap. I understand. You're going to pay it off before the wedding. As a gift." I couldn't help but laugh. I thought he was joking. "That's a good one, Don Ricardo." His expression didn't change. "I'm not joking. You want to marry her? You have to prove your worth. Prove you're serious. Prove you can be a provider." "Don Ricardo, that's not tradition. The groom's family provides financial support. Your parents aren't going to contribute anything, are they?" "We didn't ask them. We're paying for everything." "Exactly. So this is your contribution. $510,000 pesos. Pay off her debt. Let her start the marriage with a clean slate." My brain was doing math. Our wedding budget was nearly $600,000 pesos, split between the the two of us, and he wanted me to drop another 510,000 pesos for her loan. That's not how things work. That's not really a tradition, I said slowly. It is in families that value financial stability. I'm not going to pay her student loan. He took a long puff of his cigar. Then I can't give you my blessing. You already gave me your blessing. 4 months ago, at the engagement dinner, you toasted to us. That was a preliminary, conditional blessing. This is the final requirement. I stared at him. The man was completely serious. Let me get this straight, I said. You want me to pay 510,000 pesos to pay off your daughter's debt, or you won't give me your blessing for a wedding that's already organized and almost paid for, correct? Does that seem reasonable to you? It seems necessary to me. Sophia deserves a husband who can handle financial burdens. If you can't handle this now, how are you going to handle a mortgage, children, their tuition, life insurance? I'm managing myself like a normal person, not using my savings to satisfy my father-in-law's power trip. He clenched his jaw. This isn't a power trip. It's a father protecting his daughter. From what? From bank interest? From a man who isn't serious about commitment. I took a deep breath, counted to 5. It didn't help. Understood, I said. Fine. I'm glad we had this talk. I'll think about it. I returned to the table. Sophia asked if everything was okay. Yes, perfect. Just wedding stuff. I told her. She believed me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Can you believe what this father-in-law demanded? Before we continue with what happened next, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? Let's keep going. The next morning, I called my lawyer. Yes, I have a lawyer. He's my cousin Mateo, a commercial law specialist. We went to college together. Well, he studied law. I visited him occasionally in weed party. It's almost the same thing. Hey, Mateo, hypothetical question. If someone signs as responsible for paying part of a wedding, can they back out? Depends on the contract. What? I explained the situation. Don Ricardo, the demand, the hostage blessing. Mateo was silent for a moment and then said, "Oh, we're going to have fun with this." The problem with event contracts is that most people don't read them. They sign, give deposits, and forget. I read everything. It's a professional deformation for being a software engineer. I've debugged enough code to know that details matter. The contract with the hacienda had a standard cancellation clause. More than 90 days notice, lose the deposit. Between 60 to 89 days, lose 50%. Between 30 to 59 days, lose 75%. Less than 30 days, pay full balance. But there was another clause, a very fun one that I had specifically requested they include when we signed. Clause 8.4. In case of cancellation, all outstanding balances and penalties will be billed to the party designated as financial guarantor in Section 2.3. Section 2.3, when we filled out the contract, had a space that said financial guarantor if different from contractors. I had written Ricardo Villarreal, father of the bride. Why? Because Don Ricardo had insisted we put him in copy on all emails with vendors to supervise, he said. And when the hacienda coordinator asked if we should put anyone else as a contact, Sophia said, "Oh yes, my dad wants to be involved." So I involved him, legally. The contract was in Sophia's and my name. But the guarantor, that was Don Ricardo. At the time, it was just to annoy him with payment notifications. Petty? Yes. Prophetic? Totally. How was my bargaining chip? I called the wedding planner, a lovely woman named Gloria, who had organized over 300 weddings, and nothing surprised her anymore. Gloria, hi. Quick question about our contract. Of course, sweetheart. What's up? What if we wanted to cancel the party? Not the wedding, just the party. How would that work? It was a pause. Is everything okay? Everything's perfect. It's just a hypothetical situation. Well, you're at 73 days. Cancellation would involve a 50% penalty on the outstanding balance. You've already paid 204,000 pesos in deposits. The balance is $272,000. So you'd have to pay an additional 136,000 pesos penalty, plus lose the deposits. Total loss would be 340,000 pesos. And who gets charged that? I heard her shuffling papers. Let me see. According to clause 8.4, financial guarantor, which is Ricardo Villarreal. Correct. Another pause. This time longer. You're doing what I think you're doing? That depends. What do you think I'm doing? Something that's either brilliant or catastrophic. Why not both? Gloria laughed. Really laughed. Sweetheart, I've been in this business for 30 years. I've seen grooms leave brides at the altar. I've seen brides hook up with the best man the night before. I once saw a mother-in-law release chickens during the ceremony. But never, ever have I seen someone use a contract clause as a weapon against their future father-in-law. There's a first time for everything. If you do this, I want you to know I'm going to send the invoice on a Friday afternoon for maximum impact. Gloria, you're a true professional. I'm also a little bit wicked. Confirm the cancellation. Not yet. I need to talk to Sophia first. That night, I told Sophia everything. The conversation with her dad, the demand, the ultimatum. She was quiet for a long time, and she said, 510,000 pesos. Yep. To pay my student loan. Yep. As a gift to prove you're serious. That's what he said. And if you don't, he won't give you his blessing. Apparently, the previous blessing was conditional. Sophia set down her wine glass, picked it up again, drank it all in one gulp, and set it back down on the table. I'm going to end him. Get in line. I'm serious. I'm want to go to his house right now and explain to him how insane he is. Oh, I said, we could do something more fun. I explained the contract clause, the financial guarantor thing, the cancellation penalty. Sophia's eyes widened and then wider, and then she started laughing. Not a discreet laugh, but one of those belly laughs that doubles you over with tears in your eyes. You're going to stick him with a $340,000 peso bill. Only if he doesn't back down. He's not going to back down. You know perfectly well he won't. His ego is too big. I know. So are you really going to do it? Only if you give me permission. It's your wedding too. She thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. Do it. Are you sure? My dad has been a controlling nightmare my entire life. You know what he did when I started college? He told me I should have studied medicine. When I bought my car, he told me I should have leased it. When I moved into my first apartment, he told me I was paying too much per square meter. He has never been happy for me without adding a criticism disguised as advice. So yes, do it. That's a yes. It's a hell yes. But we need rules. I'm listening. First, we still get married. This doesn't cancel the wedding, just the party. Agreed. I love you, not the rodeo clown dance. Second, we go to City Hall. A small ceremony. Just us, the judge, and the people we really want there. Your mom, obviously. My siblings, your family, our real friends. Not my dad's golf buddies and his sales team. Deal. Third, we use the money we save for the honeymoon we really want, not the one my dad suggested. He suggested a honeymoon, an all-inclusive in Ixtapa. He said it had an excellent cost-benefit ratio. It makes me nauseous. Exactly. So we're thinking Europe? Somewhere he'd never go because there are too many tourists. I've always wanted to go to Japan. Done. We'll eat sushi for 2 weeks straight and send him postcards. I kissed her. You're the best fiancé in the world. I know. Now call Gloria and light that fuse. The next morning, I sent an email to Don Ricardo. Subject: regarding our conversation. Dear Ricardo, I've thought about your request regarding Sophia's student loan. After careful consideration and talking it over with her, I've decided I cannot meet your requirement to pay off the $510,000 peso debt before the wedding. However, I understand that your blessing is important to Sophia. Therefore, I want to make sure we're all on the same page going forward. I await your comments. Kind regards, my professional name. Polite, professional, ambiguous enough to sound like I was surrendering without committing to anything. He responded in 20 minutes. Subject: 3. Regarding our conversation. I'm disappointed but not surprised. This confirms my concerns about your level of commitment. As I told you, without this gesture, I cannot in good conscience give my blessing for this marriage. I suggest you reconsider your priorities. Ricardo Villarreal, Regional Sales Director, linked to his LinkedIn profile. His email signature was longer than the message. I forwarded it to Sophia with the subject, permission to proceed. She responded, fire at will. I called Gloria. It's time. Oh, how exciting. Confirm cancellation of party services effective immediately. Confirmed. And I'm billing Ricardo Villarreal, financial guarantor, the full penalty of $340,000 pesos. That's correct. I'm fascinated. It's not ethical how fascinated I am. Gloria, you're a consummate professional. I'm about to ruin this man's Friday afternoon. I'll send the invoice at 4:47 p.m., just when he thinks the weekend is approaching. You're an artist. I know. He hung up. I called the civil registry judge. Small ceremony on the original date, but in a local park instead of the Grand Hacienda. He loved the idea. Intimate weddings are my favorite, he said. Then Sophia and I called her mom. Hi, Letty. Hey, we need to talk about the wedding. There's been a change of plans. We explained everything. The demand, the contract, the cancellation. Letitia was silent for about 5 seconds, and she asked, can I be there when he opens the invoice? What? Your father has been insufferable with this wedding. You're overspending. You should do it my way. I would have negotiated better prices. And meanwhile, he was the one who insisted on inviting 40 people we barely know. This is karma. So you're not angry? Angry? Honey, I'm proud you found a man with backbone. They're a rare species in this family. Sophia started crying. Happy tears. We invited Letitia, Sophia's siblings, my family, and about 20 close friends to the new wedding. We told them not to say anything, but we'd explain later. Friday, 4:47 p.m. I was in a meeting when my phone buzzed. It was a message from Sophia. Gloria just sent me a screenshot of the invoice. It's a work of art. The invoice, indeed, was a work of professional art. Itemized, clearly showing the penalty concepts. And at the end, in bold, total amount due, $340,000 pesos, TO, B charge TO, Ricardo Villarreal, financial guarantor. My phone rang at 5:03 p.m. It was Don Ricardo. I'll let it ring. I texted Sophia. He's calling. She responded, don't answer. Let him stew in his own anger. He called 4 more times. Left 2 voicemails. Both were just his agitated, furious breathing. In the second one, it sounded like he had hit something. Maybe his desk. Maybe his car. Hopefully his car. Then the text messages started. 5:08 p.m. Answer me now. 5:15 p.m. This is unacceptable. 5:22 p.m. I will not be extorted. 5:30 p.m. This is illegal. My lawyer will contact you. 5:45 p.m. Actually, my lawyer is on vacation, but when he returns, you'll regret this. Sophia, and I read them out loud, dying of laughter. It was better than any TV series. At 6:30 p.m., he showed up at our apartment. Sophia opened the door. I stayed in the kitchen, listening. What the heck is this? He was waving his phone. His face was red. Not normal red. Tomato red. Stop sign red. The kind of red of someone who just discovered their blood pressure pills were sugar pills. What is what, Dad? This invoice from the hacienda saying I owe $340,000 pesos. Oh, that. Yeah, we canceled the party. You can't just cancel. Actually, we can. We already did. And charge me. You're the financial guarantor. It says so in the contract. Clause 8.4. I never agreed to that. You told us you wanted to supervise. You insisted we put you in copy on all communications with vendors. We added you to the contracts as you requested. Well, this is what supervision looks like. I entered the room as casually as possible. Good evening, Don Ricardo. How are you? His face was already purple. Really? Purple? You did this? Did what? This contract trick. I signed a standard contract. You insisted on being involved. We involved you. This is fraud. Actually, it's just commercial law. You should read the fine print. I mean, you're the one who always says details matter in business. No, I'm not paying this. That's between you and Gloria. She's the planner. Excellent woman. Very professional. I'm sure you two can reach an agreement. I'm going to sue you. For what? For executing a contract you agreed to? Good luck. Sophia, step forward. Dad, you had a choice. You could have simply been happy for us, supported us, come to the wedding, and enjoyed it like a normal father. Instead, you tried to extort my fiancé for $510,000 pesos. So yes, we canceled the party you were so worried about. We're getting married anyway, just without all the circus. Where? That's none of your business. Sophia, no, you don't get to make demands anymore. Either pay the invoice and face the consequences of your own greed, or dispute it with Gloria and explain to a judge why you think your daughter's fiancé should pay her student loan as a wedding gift. Either way, I'm done with you. Don Ricardo looked at me, then at Sophia. Back at me. You're both insane. We're both tired of you, Sophia said. Now, please leave. He left. The wedding was 2 months later. Small ceremony in a park. 25 people. Sophia wore a simple dress she bought at a store for $5,100 pesos. I wore a suit I already had. The judge got emotional. Sophia's mom cried. I cried. The whole thing cost less than $34,000 pesos. It was perfect. Don Ricardo didn't attend. Letitia did bring champagne and a card that said, "Congratulations on upgrading the family, my boy. With love." It was for me. We used the money we saved to go to Japan for 3 weeks. We stayed in traditional hotels. We ate at street stalls. We saw temples. We didn't check our phones. The best part? We sent Don Ricardo a postcard from Tokyo. It said, "Having an amazing time. Wish you were here. Just kidding. Thanks for financing our honeymoon with your penalty. The sushi is delicious. With love, Sophia," in my name. Letitia told us later that he threw the postcard in the trash, but then took it out and kept it in a desk drawer. She says he looks at it from time to time when he's angry. I think it reminds him what happens when he gets too clever. When we returned, Letitia told us Don Ricardo had paid the invoice. He resisted for a week. Then his lawyer told him he was going to lose in court, and it would cost him even more in fees. He wrote the check, but he's not speaking to us. How will we survive? Sophia said sarcastically. We bought a house 6 months later. We didn't tell Don Ricardo. We found out on social media. He sent us a message. You should have consulted me about the mortgage interest rate. Sophia blocked him. 2 years later, Sophia got pregnant. We told Letitia first. She cried with happiness. She immediately started planning the baby shower. We told Don Ricardo last, not out of cruelty, but because we genuinely forgot. His response, "Make sure you open an investment fund for their education. It's very expensive." Sophia responded, "Thanks for the advice. We'll make sure to put you as the financial guarantor." He didn't respond. The baby was born in March. Beautiful, healthy, perfect. Don Ricardo sent a card with a government savings bond for $850 pesos. The card said for their future educational expenses. You have to plan ahead. Sophia framed it and put the word irony underneath. We still laugh about the wedding, about Don Ricardo's face when he realized what happened, about Gloria's perfectly timed invoice. It was the best $340,000 pesos Don Ricardo ever spent. He paid for a wedding party we didn't want and learned a valuable lesson in commercial law. As for the student loan, Sophia is paying it herself, month by month on time with pride because that's what adults do. They take care of their debts, plan their own weddings, and don't let controlling parents dictate their lives. And sometimes, just sometimes, they use clause 8.4 of a contract to teach someone a lesson about delusions of grandeur. The best wedding gift I could have given.